Jonny Clayton, congratulations through to the quarterfinals here. How would you assess the performance overall?
Yeah, not great, but I got over the line. You know, so many chances from Luke, and like I say, you need that luck sometimes. And tonight I had a bit of luck, and I took it. So I'm obviously glad I'm in the quarters, and you know, I'm glad to get that game over.
Great first set, then a very disappointing second one. What did you say to yourself during the break, and how did you get your mindset right to then attack set three?
Yeah, you know, I went off the stage, and it's trying to look yourself in the mirror and go, you need to wise up, because you ain't going to win this match unless you find some form. And you know, not one of us are hitting doubles, so to start off, so I think that was a bit of luck for me that Luke wasn't, but it seemed as if when one of us was hitting the double, so was the other. So it was a weird kind of start, but you know, the 16s were kind to me at the end, so that's all that counts.
Normally when a player goes on to win a tournament, they have an off game, they have one of those games that they get away with. The fact that you've had that game potentially, does that stand you in good stead? Because overall your form has been very, very good recently.
Yeah, you know, I'm confident, like, you know, I enjoy this game. I love the format, so you know, I just struggled a bit, so hopefully, like you say, that is my one of my, you know, a wake-up call game, if that makes sense. And hopefully I can carry on now, find good form, not as in playing, as in finding the doubles to get away. And you know, in this kind of game, it does definitely help. So you know, we got over the line with a bit of luck, and I needed it, so bring on tomorrow.
Is that testament to your character as well? Because this format can fry people's brains, but the fact that you had that offset but managed to put it to the back of your mind and then reset, is that testament to your character?
Yeah, maybe. You know, I think if you come back maybe 12, 14 months ago, probably my darts would have been in the crowd. But at the end of the day, you know, I found a way, you know, to win that third set. I think the third set was the big set, because obviously I'm 2-1 up and it's pressure on Luke. So, you know, I think that third set was so important, because my second set wasn't good at all. And, you know, I put so much pressure on myself, but got through it and won the third set. So, yeah, job done tonight, on to tomorrow.
Cheers, Jonny.
Thank you.
Jonny, well done tonight.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask about your quarter-final opponent, Dirk van Duijvenbode. When he was in here sort of an hour or so ago, we were talking about his on stage. Maybe some people see him as quite an angry persona. I was just wondering what he's like backstage.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Dirk is one of the funniest guys I know. Yeah, he's a character, you know. So I think he's like a pine end of a house, and especially when I look at him, it's like little and large, you know, maybe twins, Schwarzenegger and DeVito. So no, but as a guy, he is absolutely one of the best.
You're obviously a very experienced player, but could it be intimidating, do you think, for some other players coming up against someone like Dirk?
I don't know, you know, he plays from the heart. You watch Dirk play, he gives it everything. And if he fails, he shows as well. Do you know that, you know, it shows that Dirk shows that he's hurt. So I think that's a great thing. I genuinely think that's a great thing, because he's showing what it means to him. And you know, I'm one of these that tries to smile on the stage and then kick everything when I go backstage. So but no, obviously he plays, you know, great darts. He's on form, so I've got a tough game.
You talk about showing that emotion that Dirk shows. Is that something that you have to pounce on if you see that negativity from him? You have to find it in those moments?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think so. You know, as dart players, I think we can all say the same, where we're looking for some kind of weakness in a player, where maybe he misses a double and you think, if I can get away if he's missed, maybe that's in his head, that, you know, and that's what we do, that's what we try and look for. So you know, the way Dirk is playing, I've got to be on my A game, and you know, we're in with a tough match.
Okay, thank you, Jonny.
Thank you, pal.
Jonny, well done tonight. I just want to go back to that point. You said that as a dart player, you look for a weakness to try and pounce on. So you, when you're playing, how do you try to make sure that you don't show any weaknesses for your opponent to capitalise on you?
Yeah, but you know, it's you try not shaking heads, looking down, things, because if things don't go your way, it's hard not to show emotion. but you try not show emotion when he can see you, your opponent can see you. So you know, but sometimes it's just too late. It's the darts are not going the right way, and you're shaking head. You know, you feel like punching the board kind of thing, and you know, it shows.
You've been quite open in the past about nearly giving up the darts and retiring. You said to Phil that 14 months ago that if you threw the darts, they'd end up in the crowd.
Yeah.
Did you think a year ago that you'd be still a top 8 player, still going deep in major tournaments and making a major final this year as well?
I think I'd have been a long time gone, to be honest, but obviously it shows that I got some bottle. You know, I've put some work in on the dartboard, which I'm not a great practicer because I got bored of it, and I just think I've shown bottle. You know, I'm glad that I have. I'm genuinely glad that I've stuck to it because I'm doing something pretty good. So to stay in the top 10 as well, you know, I've done something right. So 14 months ago, maybe this day I wouldn't have been here.
Brilliant, well done tonight, Johnny. Thank you.
Think about, cheers.
Congratulations, Johnny. And touching on weaknesses again, did you spot mid-match with Luke that he became a bit more sort of subdued and sort of annoyed with his own performance? Did that give you any confidence going forward?
100%, because, you know, like I just said, you know, the shaking of the head, and then, you know, the way that we look at a dartboard when things are not going your way, you know, I could see that, but probably Luke could see that with me as well. But like I said, I had a bit of luck there tonight, needed it, and you know, but you do pick that up. You generally do pick that up. You know, every dart player tries their best on that stage, and you know, when things don't go where you want them to go, you know, or the way that you want it to go, it's difficult to hide emotions. So you know, I could see that Luke was disappointed, in, especially in some legs to finish games. So you know, you have to try and jump on that.
And your finishing double in success was pretty impressive tonight. Is that sort of your strength going forward and what you're taking to tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%, because you need that, but you need that to start off as well. So you know, if I can keep my finishing and bring that to begin to start the match as well, you know, I think, you know, I'll be quite near to where I need to be.
Thank you.
Thanks for
mate.
your time, Johnny. I just wanted to ask you about comments you made earlier in the week about the Hill Design Pro Tour, and that you personally don't think that it should be there. Was there any specific reason behind that?
No, I just think, you know, and this is just my opinion, you know, other players might think differently. You know, we're out in Europe, you know, so much through the year with the Europeans and stuff, which I don't disagree with at all. But, you know, the Pro Tour is going that way as well. It's just not for me, to be honest, and that's my only reason, really. It's just, you know, I just don't want to be there more than I have to.
So it's nothing particularly against Germany?
No,
as a
nothing at all
location,
against
it's just all
that.
the
No,
travel for
it's
yourself.
just like we're out there, you know, I think, you know, it's 15 times next year, I think, with the Europeans. You've got the World Cup, you've got the European finals, you know, the World Series of Darts is out in Europe. So, you know, it's just my opinion, you know, it counts for nothing, but at the end of the day, it's just my feelings.